Let's call this meeting to order. City of Washington Common Council meeting, August 23rd, 2021, 6:30 p.m. May we have a moment of silence for our veterans and our COVID-19 victims, please? Thank you. Pledge allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May we have roll call, please?
Councilman Lunsford.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Councilman Gress.
Here.
Councilman Campton.
Here.
Councilman Emmons.
Here.
Councilman Dahl.
Here.
Councilman Showalter.
Here.
Okay. Note all present. Approval of the minutes of August 9th, 2021 regular meeting in front of you tonight. Anybody have any questions or concerns about the minutes?
I move we approve them as.
Okay, Councilman Gress makes a motion to approve them, and
I'll second.
Councilman Dahl seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, written presentation of the claims in front of you tonight. If you, anybody have any questions or concerns about the claims tonight? I've looked them over. I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary.
I'll make a motion to send those to.
Okay, Councilman Campton makes a motion to send these to the Board of Works for final approval. Councilman Brown seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, comments by the members of the public other than what's on the agenda tonight.
Real quick,
Okay,
it was brought up last,
state your name.
Steve Walden,
Okay.
brought up the meeting last time I wasn't here about the side-by-sides on city streets. I sent everybody an email, but I think some of their emails have changed. I think Derek might have sent it again today, but I just didn't want a decision made on, not sure who it was in the audience who said they were not illegal. On Eden County Road, I've got 3 documents here that I've sent to you that, one's from the state and 2 of them are ordinances from other cities in the Brazil and Solomon that do allow them. So just appreciate you guys taking time and look at that. If I didn't get the email, let me know and I'll get that to you.
Did you say they do allow them?
They do allow them.
Yeah.
From what I could tell, the ordinance that the city of Washington passed for golf carts, I think came out about the same time that the state changed their laws, allowing them on county roads. And in this, it says, to me, explained today, says that counties, cities, and towns make their own rules regarding them. So I just want you to take a look at it before decisions are made and not just take for what was said in the meeting 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's pretty well what the state guideline says. Yeah, we've had this brought up, and Derek sent some stuff out to us. I didn't know if everybody had a chance to look at it, but I looked at the Brazil and Sullivan ordinances, and but I, didn't know if everybody out there really thinks we probably need to look at this a little more and look at these ordinances. Councilman Brown, we was talking before the meeting, he thought maybe we should make a committee to look at this
That would seem reasonable.
and bring it back to the board at another meeting. So
I mean, that's what we did the golf cart. I think it worked real well. We probably should have did that with the noise ordinance, in my opinion.
We should.
Hindsight's
We
20/20,
should've.
but I think maybe if you
should.
get a committee of some people and include, the people that are gonna enforce the rule, maybe that makes it a little bit easier when you make that rule.
Yeah, because, I know Derek sent this out, but we really haven't heard from the police side of it, how they feel about this, but yeah. Okay, is everybody okay with that? Coming up with a committee, review this, bring it back to this board? Okay?
Okay, that's why I was here, so.
Oh, yeah, Mary.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah. I did see him. Okay. Okay, anything else that's not on the agenda tonight from the public? Okay. Moving on, we have approval of a letter from the DCDC requesting COVID small relief grant funds to be awarded to 4 businesses that have met the criteria and request a letter from the city to Okra for draw number 6. Michelle's here from SIDC.
I just have an update tonight in regards to the COVID grant. And number 6 here will be the final draw of that grant. Overall, there was 31 businesses that applied and was approved for the grant funding. Since it really began toward the beginning of the year, I think January was our first draw of the grant. One business received 10,000, 2 received 7,500, 1 received 7,000, and 27 of them received $5,000 from those applications. We're here at the end of the grant period, and with those 31 businesses, $167,000 of the grant funds was requested. That leaves $83,000 of grant funds from the $250,000 grant. I have spoken with Okra, and they are fine with the city, if you all decide, to evenly distribute the remaining funds to the ones that have applied. With the caveat, of course, there's a 10,000 maximum on it.
Yes.
So the one that received 10,000
Wouldn't be eligible.
Additional funding, and the ones that got 7,500 would only receive 2,500 and so forth. And there was one business that was sold. So taking them out of
Yeah.
the equation, basically the $5,000 businesses, or the ones that received $5,000 would look at receiving additional funding of
2,700, I think.
I think it's
20.
288, basically 288.
27, yeah, about 2,700.
It was $2,888
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that is what
Yeah,
I
they'd-
apologize.
Yeah, I had it on some other paperwork, but yes, they get about $2,800 extra. That would put them up around the 7,800 mark. And that would replenish this grant.
I would move we do that.
I would second.
Okay, Councilman Dahl makes a motion to approve this, these COVID relief funds for small businesses, and also distribute out the extra money to the plan that the SIDC had out, and would replenish the $250,000 in small business relief grant. And Councilman Gress seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain. I has 2 conflicts in there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Alan's has helped on judging the contracts or these applications. Okay?
That would make the final draw then for the $103,000 that's remaining. That will be what the final draw is. And I think there was a drafted letter.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
We need to revise that letter.
Has that, yeah,
I've got it for the-
have you, did you do it to that, yeah, and then here's the letter and, okay. That was something else.
Oh, okay.
That was something else. This is just a letter saying, it's not another draw. This draw here is the 6th draw is $103,000. But this letter, we don't have paperwork, we just have this letter.
Okay, but that letter is just for those 4 businesses.
This additional one is
This is an additional letter,
Okay.
for all the remaining funds.
yeah, for the remainder of the $103,000. Okay. Was there another, I didn't see it, another paper for the draw, like we normally have?
The letter there is all I need because it's
Okay.
online now.
Okay. I knew that was a little different in the past. Okay?
And with that, there is 2 2 years after closeout, where we will have the businesses reporting to us twice a year, just to make sure they have the same employees and also if they're still opening a business or not. That is a requirement of the grant.
Okay. Okay. All right, yeah, I signed the letter, so, yeah, if you would do that, draw number 6 and, close that out, and if you need anything else from us, just, let us know.
All right.
Right.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Michelle.
And the, business
Appreciate what you guys do
administration
for this
and-
grant and all the other grants that you've worked with us on, but, okay. All right, resolutions. Reading the resolution 8-2021 entitled Resolution Requiring Assurance of No Criminal Behavior at City-Approved Events.
I'll make a motion to read that.
Councilman Kempton makes a motion to read it. Councilman Dahl seconds. All in favor? Opposed? Tim?
Resolution, excuse me, resolution number 8-2021, a resolution requiring assurances of no criminal behavior at city-approved events. Whereas the City Council of the City of Washington, Indiana has determined that it has become necessary for the council to restrict requests for special events on public property or in public places to only those events which in no way are violative of Indiana criminal statutes. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Washington, Indiana, that future requests to the City Council and to the Board of Public Works and Safety to utilize public areas and the public streets of the City of Washington for special events must contain assurances that none of the activities during those events shall constitute a violation of any law, be it federal, state, or local ordinance. 2, such assurances must be in affidavit form, signed by the leader of any organization making such request. 3, the failure to provide an affidavit in compliance with this resolution shall result in a denial of such request, and failure to abide by the assurances contained in the affidavit will result in denial of future requests from that organization. 4, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage in accordance with the law, passed and adopted by the Common Council of the City of Washington, Indiana, this blank day of August 2021.
Okay. Anybody?
Was there a reason for that?
Well, I think we've got some people in the audience here that might be able to share some of the
Yes.
thoughts behind this. Was at their request.
I'd be happy to speak to that. Do you guys mind taking one and passing it around?
Almost looks like you're trying to say.
Almost.
Right.
I'm Nick Dahl, live here in town. And yes, it's a good question. Why do you need an ordinance that says follow the laws of the land? You wouldn't think you need to, but last summer we had an event in Washington that my contention is violated the laws of the state of Indiana. The Davis County Pride had an event, had a Pride Festival on Main Street. We shut the street down. In that event, they had a drag show, and in your packet there are photos from that drag show. Now, Indiana Code 35-49-3-3, it's on the second page of your handout, the back of the front page. It's the bottom highlighted in yellow. It says, except as provided, this is illegal. Engages in or conducts a performance before minors that is harmful to minors. It's illegal. It's a level 6 felony according to the statute. If you read up on that page and the other highlighted, the matter of performance is harmful to minors for purpose of this article if it describes or represents in any form nudity, sexual conduct, sexual assignment, or sadomasochistic abuse. 3, it is patently offensive to prevailing standards in the adult community as a whole with respect to what is a suitable matter of performance before minors. And as you can tell from those pictures, it was actually advertised as a children's event, and there was clearly nude, sexually provocative dancing that happened in front of lots of minors. Violating the laws of the state of Indiana. Now, you can't say that the Pride Coalition can't have a festival. They have the constitutional right to have a festival, but they don't have the constitutional right for it to be pornographic. We wouldn't want a fat lady down there dancing in front of kids. We wouldn't want any other sort of illegal activity. We certainly don't want men dressed in sexually clad women grooming and that's the reason. So I called Tim, just asking, and he put the resolution in.
Yeah, I've had a couple people reach out to me in my office and, about this matter. And, Tim called me and had, talking about this, resolution, and he drew it up, and we want to present it to the council for their review and possible approval.
I don't think that's the view we want public to have of Washington.
Yeah. Is this better as a resolution or ordinance? I mean, what would be the reasoning why we would want it?
There's no real reason one way or the other, honestly.
I mean, we aren't asking them to do anything they aren't doing now, other than
Yeah, we're just
Well,
saying
they
we
should
want
be
you to
just sign
comply
an
with the laws.
affidavit saying, and it's a way to
So-
remind people that they have to do that.
So the only recourse is that we just won't let them have it anymore?
That
There's
would be
no,
my question.
there's no-
Because all they do say is, well, it's not illegal, and then when it is, we have the ability to say no the next time, is that?
This particular event, they came to us, asked for, just block the streets, close the streets, what their request was. It was on a piece of property that the city does not own, but they did ask the city for the closure of a street.
So we could have denied that.
This, I mean, yeah, but if, all they would've said is, no, we're not doing anything illegal, sign it. That's my point, is what is the recourse for when they
The
do?
recourse is if they come back for another one, then we say no.
That is all then?
Yeah.
That's simply
Basically, yes.
the next.
Yeah, there's no penalty provision per se on this resolution.
I guess that's why.
In the affidavit,
Okay,
by the way, that it
resolution.
makes reference to, my
Yeah.
plan is, I haven't drafted it yet, but it'll be kind of a generic affidavit that they don't have to, draft it themselves or hire an attorney. We'll just have a generic form,
And
kind
would
of
that
fill in
be-
the blank.
Would that be a
Fair-
police officer only discretion on what is or what is not, and how would we?
I think it's our discretion, either the council or the board of works, whoever's,
But again, like me, I would've never heard of this,
I hadn't.
I didn't know anything about this,
Yeah.
so. It probably.
That would be one method how we would find out, yeah, but I think there's others, well, citizens in general.
I mean, I think it was very intentional. They said it was face painting, bouncy house. One of the drag queens' name is Peter Von Teaser. They wanted kids to come. They wanted kids to see this, and someone has to advocate for the kids.
No, I don't think anything's wrong with it. I just wanna know how we're going to.
I would hope the police would have stopped it when this was going on. I mean,
But do we have anything in here that tells us that we can stop the event?
That we can, no.
I mean, I guess the police ought to feel like it's a crime. I
Well,
didn't start
almost-
arresting people, but.
Right, that's exactly right. I mean,
Falls
if
under
there
a
is,
state statute.
if it is criminal behavior, they could be arrested, yes.
Is the statute of criminal behavior, that's like what's written, that's,
The one he just read is,
Gotcha.
there's also another one that's a sort of a public indecency statute
Right.
that I looked at that was pretty close to it too.
like, if there's one where a man, you can see he's in a thong and a child is looking at it.
Yeah,
I just wondered if that man had sent that picture via text to the kid. The kid's getting the same message. I'm sure there could have been something.
there'd be a problem with that, wouldn't there?
Right,
Yes,
but
yeah.
it's like, if we're doing it out in the open, it's okay that we don't have to protect little kids, it's just.
And I guess if somebody were to bring a civil rights lawsuit or something against the city can say, well, you signed an affidavit saying you wouldn't do illegal behavior before.
There is another level of protection for the city here as well, that's correct.
So what if, not like, let's just say our group has an event and somebody goes there and does illegal activities, but it wasn't part of the
Part of the
event?
Well, I think, again, you're looking at if the organization does what they can to try to control that. I mean, obviously, that could happen at the
That could
car
happen
show.
at my grocery store.
Could happen at the car show, and there's a big crowd out there, and
'Cause it does
somebody
happen
could do
out there.
something illegal, that organization's not responsible for that.
It comes down to prosecutorial discretion.
Like I say, he'll have a check, it'd be a fill in the blank. If you remember when this one, they just came and it was fun day,
Yeah.
an individual
Fun
fun day, and so we was kind of misled.
And you say you will make it easy, you'll have something for them.
Yeah, I know, well, I wouldn't expect them to draft up, and that's right, exactly. Yeah, it'd be kind of fill in the blank.
Sounds like a no-brainer to me.
so on this
With an
one,
explanation.
this specific event, they came misled, obviously. Now, I did send some councilmen the Facebook that they said they were gonna bring this in. I sent that.
After the
So-
fact, yeah.
After you guys approved it, correct. Would that then be able to come back now that this is there and say, hey, now we see that you're gonna be doing this, that's a no, we're pulling it back.
Well, it's hard, logistically, it's hard to do because
Correct.
you don't have a
You gotta
meeting
be
in
able to know.
between, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
but if it's brought to the council
In
or a
theory,
council
yes.
person, right?
Yeah.
Then that
They
should
could
be.
pull the ripcord on it, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
A lot of events, there's not much time frame when they come and ask us for something. Some of them there is, where we have more time frame.
But a
This
lot
one
of
there
Some
was a long
cities say
time.
you gotta have a
No,
month.
there was like
You gotta
a
have
week
a
or
month or
something.
2 months before we
Something to be
approve anything.
considered, yeah.
Some is quite quick
Correct.
in the past.
Is this up for vote tonight?
We can.
It can be, or it can be tabled, and if you want
I'll
to wait
make a
for
motion.
feedback from
I'll
the,
make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Councilman Kempton makes a motion to approve this. Councilman Dahl seconds it. Are there any questions or comments, Heather, than what we just discussed? If,
They wouldn't have asked to close the street, then this wouldn't have nothing to do with it.
that's correct.
Because they were on their own.
yeah, there's on a piece of property that the city did not own.
Even if it's out in public. On
They
Main
wouldn't have
Street.
to come.
Well, there's some other things that might come into play there, but not this.
Not for what we have.
Not for what we have control of.
Yeah,
Because that's
right.
controlled by a
Yeah.
different entity. We take care of it though, don't we?
Well, this would encourage them to do sort of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we do some maintenance there, yeah. Okay, any other questions or things on this before we, if not, we'll do a roll call vote.
You want to do a roll call on
No, I'm sure, it requires a majority vote, and for those present past, we had a first and a second, so, all in favor?
it? Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this, resolution will be adopted. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Nick. Okay. We got a reading of Resolution 9-2021, authorizing a transfer of funds.
I move we read that resolution.
I'll second.
Okay, Councilman Dahl makes a motion to read this resolution. Councilman Campton seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Tim?
Resolution number 9-2021, a resolution requesting the transfer of funds. Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Washington, Indiana, Davies County, Indiana as follows. The transfer of funds under IC 36-1-8-5, as requested by the Common Council of the City of Washington, Davies County, Indiana, has been found by the proper officers to be necessary. This transfer is from unexpended, unobligated fund balances from budget year 2021. The Common Council does hereby transfer $200,000 from the general fund to the rainy day fund. This fund shall be subject to the same appropriation process as other funds that receive tax money. Adopted this 23rd day of August, 2021.
Okay.
What was the purpose?
Beth, you want,
This is funds that were unexpended, they were appropriated funds that we did not spend in the 2020 budget year.
The 2020 budget?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we have,
But-
we can transfer those to the rainy day fund. The purpose of that would be to build up the rainy day fund, and also next year we have some capital projects that we may want to use these funds for. So I'm going to go ahead and appropriate those in case we do.
I'll make a motion
but
to approve.
this resolution says balances from budget year 2021 on here. Is that?
2020.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
That's an error.
That's where I saw it earlier, and I just wanted to bring that up
But I'll make a motion to
too,
approve.
with the change. Councilman Campton makes a motion to approve this.
I'll second.
Councilman Brown seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this resolution will be adopted. Okay, we have no ordinances. Other business. Further discussion of the interlocal government agreement for the provision of emergency communications through Essential Dispatch. I know you have a copy of it in front of you now. I sent this out when we got it today from County Attorney Grant Swartzentruber. We had a meeting Friday with a few members, and we discussed things, and when the police chief, fire chief was here in the meeting, and we request at the time a couple changes. One that really didn't have anything to do with us. It was the county clerk treasurer, Patty Ball, wanted some language in there. And so we mentioned that again to make sure that was in there. And second, we all agreed that we must have another member on the operations committee, board, from elected official from the city of Washington, and such member shall be appointed by the mayor. We thought that was crucial to even things up 4-4 on the operations board. We had 7 members prior, but we had nobody from the council on there.
So it will be 4-4?
Yeah.
4 city, 4.
Basically, yeah, yes. Two, the police chief, sheriff, the fire chief, volunteer representative, and then a council member, a city council member, and a commissioner, and
So at the point
County
that it stands to
Yeah.
a 4-4 vote.
county. Pardon?
So if it's at a 4-4 standstill,
Well, we suggested they could do several things. We have a director of communications, and then I told him, I said, let that person break the tie. If that's the case. And, that's just one idea. I'm not telling them what to do, but I suggested that, if that's the case. So, we talked about this many times, and when that meeting we had, we got on the phone, we talked to Tony Dungeon, and because Tony's the one that I've been talking to more, he sent out and talked to his side, but we told him that other member wasn't a request that we thought it has to have. That was a game breaker.
Just answered a couple of my questions, I just skimmed through.
Yeah,
We just got it
I'll
tonight, so I
try.
haven't had-
Yes, I know, yes.
But, how many dispatchers will be on the floor at all times? Do you know? Because I think that needs to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, Derek, we've been in these meetings so many times.
Minimum of three would be your limit.
But that's in this contract?
That is not in the contract.
But if it's not in the
There's
contract-
16, there's
if it's
16
not in the contract-
dispatchers. It's a total. They decided there'd be 16, nobody's gonna lose their job. There's 5 that have transferred from city to county.
If that's something that you've agreed on 3, and if you think that's plenty, a minimum of 3. If you think 3's enough, then.
Three's a lot better than the one we normally have.
Well, I know, but is it enough? This is my question. Because these are the things we need to work, because anybody that called me, that was their main concern, was, having enough dispatchers to cover everything.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm on board there.
so do you believe 3?
This minimum 3.
it's just a
Yeah.
minimum, they could have more than that.
Well, I know
Yeah.
but you can say this, but if it's not in this contract, they can have 2.
That's my question.
I get totally put that in the contract, absolutely. Am I gonna sit here and say 3 minimum's gonna be great all the time?
It could be
You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Something could
Right.
spontaneously happen and have
But
multiple
your
major events
opinion,
going
3
on.
is, or would you say more? This is my question.
The staffing level will be set by the operations
Yeah,
board.
the operations board's gonna basically come up with something similar to a set of bylaws and that sort of thing, and I think.
So that's gonna be the
addressed by
chiefs
that.
and somebody from the council.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the operations board, but Trent's he's been involved in this from the get-go as long as with myself, about 5 years ago roughly.
Yeah, I'd like to see 4, 4, and 3, 3 minimum at night and 4, first and second. Because during the day, you get all the admin line calls and all the
Get all the
extra
what?
calls. Second's the busiest shift.
Administrative calls.
So,
We tried to, this has been, we've added to this, we've told them, we've tweaked this several times, and, that's no problem. But it was just hard to think of everything. Every time we get together, it seems like, we come up with something else, and it's easy to do.
Are they still gonna be dispatching for utilities as well?
Yes, yes. All communications.
And that's one thing I caught when I was reading over this new contract. If they could just get rid of the word emergency, I'd feel so much better about it.
I've told them
And I've told them numerous times that.
I've
you
told
just
them
can't
that
get word deleted.
several times. Thought we had it out of there.
But they have defined it in the first whereas.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We did get you, or utility related put in there. That wasn't in there at one time. We did get that added. You know,
So 4410 is gonna go in there, right?
I think 4410 is gonna remain with us as an admin line. Right?
So, I mean, well, I'm just saying, this is devil's advocate. When I called for a wreck just the other day, I called 254-4410. So, and that's what I've done ever, because I don't ever want to call 911, because I know that we are limited on 911. And if they want to put me on, hold on the 4410, that's fine, but if I call 911, I want it to be 911.
Right, you don't want to be put on hold. for
So
that.
if we're saying 254-4410 is being answered by us, that's probably an issue to me.
We got 4 lines, we could keep, 8210, 8212, any of those.
I would agree with you, Alan, on the 4410. A lot of people know that as the police department number, send that over to them. If it ends up being an admin call, they can relay it to us until everybody gets used to our new.
This is like 1060, I call 1060 too. I don't call 911,
Right.
unless it's gotta be really bad for me to call 911.
I think these are good questions for that, whoever we put on the operations board, to make sure we get that taken care of.
I think the difference between what the operation board has and what we put in this interlocal are really important, because the interlocal can't be changed by the operation boards, it has to be changed by us, the county commissioners. The operations board can change those rules at any time, so that's why I'm just trying to make sure we have enough representation, for one thing, and then also, that it will be, operating the way that is safe for our officers and firefighters.
So where are the talks, I get that you're working on the contract, but where are the talks of the housing? Have we just given up on that, and we're just willing to concede, or are we still wanting a neutral site? Because almost every one of my 12 to 13 calls that I received, they were all 100% for central dispatch, so your firefighters, cops,
Right.
sheriff's department, but they're also 100% for neutral. And the same situation that everybody's brought it to us every time, that is what they're all worried about.
And I've been involved in the talks pretty much from the beginning too, and that was one of the things we put down is this has to happen, or we just stop talking about it. Somewhere down the road, and I don't even remember when it happened, that was thrown out of it. I don't know what happened to us to concede to that. I'm not sure. I can't remember the conversations. But,
Besides that point, and I agree, and I hope I didn't give the wrong opinion last time. I'm not opposed to the central dispatch if it's done correctly, which is a neutral location. I do think that the extra manpower would be beneficial, without a doubt. What about the financial board? Has that changed at all, or is it still gonna be 2 and 1?
2 and 1.
but
Why, it's just a thought, and I talked to a couple of councilmen last time. Why can't it be 5? And 2 from the county, 2 from the city, and 1 neutral party that's not either one, some business person that's out here in the community? Because the financial board, from what I read on there, and I didn't get the latest updated version, but the financial board is going to be the hiring and the firing and so, like when it comes to a coordinator, is the city really gonna have a big say-so in it? Who's the coordinator, who's getting hired, who's not getting hired? If it's always 2 county representatives and 1 city representative? Like I said, I just think a good idea would be a 5-person board, 1 neutral. It's not either. I'm quite sure that there's some business person out here in town that would serve on a board on the financial aspects and the hiring and firing of for a central combined dispatch. That's just my thought on that. That way it's more evened out. If we're truly trying to do this jointly and do this fairly, then we need to really, before anything's signed, especially things of that kind of importance, then we need to look at those options. And I think, like I said, I think there's plenty of qualified business people out here, or a citizen that would serve on this board, that both parties could agree upon serving on the board. I'm sure that you could find somebody that both parties would say, yeah, this would be our 5th person. Just my thought on that.
I think the hiring and firing, I think in this contract, it says it as necessary, and I really think that the hiring and firing, at least in all the conversations I remember, will, with the exception of the director, will be the director's hiring and firing. Trent, is that way you take it?
Yeah, I mean.
Because the financial board's
Except
only
for
gonna
the
be.
director, like you said.
Yeah, because the operations board's gonna hire the director. But,
But just the financial aspect.
the financial aspect, in here, they're only gonna meet once a year, so they really can't do much hiring and firing if they're
Well, that's the
meeting once a
reason
year.
I say that a five-person board, if somebody's only gotta commit one time a year to make changes, and I think they'd be more than happy to say, hey, if it's just one time a year, that sounds good to me. You know?
And I don't know why they would, you know, if they would object to that, there's something going.
Oh, yeah.
You
Neutral
know, so
person.
I don't think it would hurt to bring that up. I mean, I know you want this to be the final contract, but
No.
I don't really think it would hurt to,
Ron, I see you back there. Don't hide from us.
I'm just here to listen.
You're just a fly on the wall.
No, I'm not sure I've received all the information I need to make an accurate decision.
Okay.
I know they've jumped into some things in the past that didn't turn out the way we thought they would, so I'm just here to learn.
Okay.
You know,
Just want to give you opportunity.
and we did have one location back in the day. Now, I'm asking you, you know, right now, dispatch is gonna cost us about the same it was if, we're gonna pay about the same it was if we ran it ourselves, roughly. It's a wash. So if we have one location, is the city willing, it's gonna cost, you know, another $400,000 or $500,000 a piece probably. We don't know what that cost is, but I'm just saying, just something to think about.
well, I think I'm fine with them, sheriffs, you know.
No, I mean, I'm just
As long as
saying.
we have our representation, I mean.
They did.
Because regardless if it's in there or sheriffs or independent, whoever's running it is running it, you know, if, you know,
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
I think that, I mean, if the sheriff has a key fob to get into the dispatch and go talk to the director, then the chief should have a key fob to go to
Well,
the
I
station.
won't argue that, yeah.
Until they
As far
turn
as
the
having
fob off.
a neutral building, unless somebody just donate, I mean, somebody's gotta own the building, it's just not gonna show up.
yeah, yeah,
We gotta start somewhere.
yeah.
I think the neutral building, the side is just for the neutrality of one side not being over top of that director, and that director feel that their allegiance works for the county. You know, I think that was the whole premise of why we wanted a neutral building.
And it's not gonna be
And it
done.
was always that way with the police and fire chiefs in the past, that's what they wanted, so. I
Which
don't know.
is the reason when we talked to so many other places, and we went around, and I know Mayor Wellman called dozens of places, central dispatches and stuff, and they all told us the exact same thing. Don't be silly enough to fall into a trap and go into one building or another. Have a neutral location. I get the cost, I truly do, but what's the cost in a few years when, if it doesn't work out and we're back to like, oh, we're splitting up again, which we also know the department that did that. So, I mean,
I was just putting that out there, yeah.
like I said, there was a time I was in favor of it, and I'm still in favor if it's done correctly. If it's not, like the financial board, we're never really gonna have any say-so, then why don't we just turn it all over? Just be done with it, quit pretending that we're gonna have some say-so, you know? Let's just quit playing games with it.
Yeah, I was not so much worried about the financial part of it because it's in interlocal 65 to 35, but you know, and if they go to raise it too much, then there's going to be issues that you have to go with the budgets.
But
So I wasn't too
They
worried.
can't raise that until 10 years, the way that contract, is that
Well,
correct?
Well, they're going to have to raise the budget.
No, the budget
Raise it
raises, but the
also.
percentages.
The budget's going to raise every year for raises and stuff like that.
No, but will it still be?
65, 35, they can't be changed unless
Right,
we
right,
change it
that's
in here.
what I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's always gonna be 65, 35 unless we change it.
And they did that,
It's
you know,
interlocal.
basically off the population.
Is the council willing to pony up the cost of the additional building? I know that's a fear. I talked to one of the commissioners, and he very emphatically stated that's not the sheriff's building, it's the county commissioner's building. So if that becomes a issue, then that will be addressed and taken care of at that point. But we're on the verge of doing a great, big, good thing for the community, from the county, citizens of Washington, fire and police, and these are little details when we kick this big down the road time and time again. And we're just this close to having a great, big, good thing done, and I hate to see it go away just for details that can be worked out.
Do we know, are there any buildings that, I mean, the Gill thing was kicked down the road, correct? Or was that just a rumor, or do we even know?
Not sure. Not sure. That's just a rumor I heard.
You know?
Ron don't know. He's a fly on the wall.
No, the Gill building, I think they were approached. The building is changing hands. It is gonna remain as a funeral home, the last I heard. But location-wise, I don't think anybody in particular, that would be a great location.
Since you're here, do you know of any other potential possibilities for this economic development? Do we know if they, I mean,
Again, I've been out of that genre for a while, but, I look at buildings close to Main Street and what's empty.
Old National.
The old,
Not anymore.
No, that's taken-
Dailies.
The old time
I
Fairwood
heard she
building
was
is
trying.
empty, and I think they'd be willing to sell it. You know, I don't think anybody's really looked, but
Well, I think the bank building was, they had thoughts of that. And then they had people look at it and the improvements they was gonna have to do and the monies they spend, they thought that wasn't the right place. But, yeah, originally they had kind of thoughts of maybe that being the building.
What was the last building you mentioned, Ron?
Times
Herald.
Times Herald.
I think that they have it listed, they want too much because
Yeah, I
of what
think
it's listed still on their books, I believe. is what
There's
I've
some
talked a couple of times. to
roof
people.
issues, I think there, but I'm not sure
Yeah,
about
I
that.
think they did repair some of them,
I
but
mean,
Yeah.
there's several buildings on Main Street that have space. The question is that a good
Yeah.
spot? for it?
What, I mean,
so I mean, I guess, yes, I'm for moving forward with communications. I mean, I know that was originally the question, yes. I mean, do we need to take a vote? Do you know we're all in? I mean,
well, they're wanting, you know, the whole thing here is, you know, they're wanting, they gotta approve their budgets like we're gonna approve our budget, and that's kinda where they're at. That's why the time frame, and, you know, if, so to say, and they wanna approve their budget. And then we, of course, we gotta approve our budget next, and this does
But we've got
affect
this
it.
in our budget, right?
We got it in there, we
Well,
just have to change our budget.
we're leaving our budget as if we're gonna have one.
Yeah.
And then we'll just change it,
Yeah.
we'll reappropriate it.
Right. But, you know, I wrote down, I mean, I don't know how everybody feel. I wrote down 2 or 3 more things. I mean, or the bottom line is the building the kicker? And
I mean,
The problem with the building is not only the building, then you gotta move all the equipment and all the lines, and it's gonna be.
Which you're gonna have to do anyway.
They was moving it upstairs to
They're
another
moving it.
location.
Not as far,
and
but
it's
yeah,
supposed to be
but it's in the
secured.
building.
Yeah, but they're still moving and getting new consoles and everything.
And they're supposed to be secured.
So
you know.
if we asked each department head their opinion, what would they say?
Each, well, yeah.
If it's done
I mean-
right, I'm for it. I mean, that's.
But that's what everybody keeps saying, right, but what is,
I'm talking about housing.
what is right?
What is right in your
that
opinion?
neutral venue, or is it?
I
where
don't
it's
think
going?
that neutral, we don't have.
I mean,
it
they
won't happen.
recently
Not
gave
this
us
year.
another spot on operator, the operations board, which actually makes it a 5-3, it's not a 4-4 if you look at it, but, we got in another there. The big thing, which I think everybody agrees on, is the location. You know, if it was a third.
We don't have the money,
third-party
we don't
location,
get $400,000 to spend on
it'd
the
be done.
building.
think
Because I don't see it, we're having a hard time just coming
I
up
think
with
you'd rather
a
have it
balanced
out.
budget now.
We don't have another place for it at this time.
I mean, what an object, yeah.
Yeah, they think the money grows on a tree.
Correct.
we don't go.
He said it's gonna be a county building.
Well, I think it's
I
because
think it's gonna be in control.
over the shoulder.
If we don't go central route, there's some stuff in our dispatch
Yeah.
place that, we could use a couple more dispatchers to help alleviate that.
There's Spillman, we piggybacked on Spillman, and it'll cost us additional $100,000 if we don't go just for Spillman contract alone, right?
Well, that's it. That's if they would kick us off of it, which hopefully they wouldn't do. If we didn't do this. That isn't contingent to being simple dispatch. They let us on that, and hopefully they wouldn't, if we
That's
didn't
probably
do
been
this.
discussed, but anything we do, if we do go to central, do we have to change the things we have in our police cars?
No.
No.
So we use the same system.
So we are ready now.
Yep, that was the point of 5 years ago. We
Yep.
got it on the same system that they're on.
Yes, Yea or nay?
Huh?
Nay,
Yeah.
say. Huh?
Yeah.
But I can't imagine them arguing about that financial board. I just, if they are, there's something going on. If they only meet once a year, and it makes them feel better.
Well, that's, yeah.
I don't see any harm in asking.
I mean-
I don't think you're gonna get a building number one before you're wanting to do this either,
I know that I did, in the prior meeting, suggest that we have a public hearing the first meeting of September. Is anybody opposed to having that, or advertising a public hearing? Have a public hearing, have more people that knows that it's on the agenda, because we just stuck this on the agenda today. Have an opportunity to come speak, either side, and then a vote on it that night.
I agree with that, yes.
Or vote on it that night.
We can vote on it that night.
But, like I said, find out about that 5, and then, because I don't think you're gonna I don't think you're gonna find a building, I mean, it would be great if we could, but, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Right.
But there's nothing that says it has to happen in January.
So it-
It can be done right and not start in January. I mean,
Well, budget-wise, it's kind of makes it more difficult. So, I mean, that's
So-
my suggestion.
If we was gonna approve this tonight, Trent, would you vote yes or no?
Oh, I've always been yes.
Yeah, I just wanna hear it.
I mean,
Okay.
when you got a dispatcher answering a call 38 seconds into it, so
Yeah.
he hears the guy had a gun, and he doesn't hear that the guy had a gun because he's dispatching our police cars and
Yeah.
ambulances and everybody to the scene. And then 2 minutes later, he says, "Is there a weapon involved?" I mean, that changes the dynamics of everything. If we would have known that from the beginning, we approach that situation a whole different aspect. And that happens frequently.
Yeah.
And putting people that call 911 on hold, like Alan said, I've got recordings if you want to listen to them.
Yeah. That's just,
That shouldn't happen.
not everybody heard all that, so that's why I said that to you, because I've heard it, I've experienced it myself back in my other job. So what the council, is that what you wanna do? Is that the council's
I
wishes?
just made a suggestion, so I'll make a motion, we have a public hearing at the next meeting, and, let whoever wants to speak, limited amount of time, yay, nay, have it out there on record, and then we can vote on it.
I'll reach out
And what we will have, can you get us that contract? Just send us the changes. You don't have to send us
No.
the whole contract.
It may be the day of.
Okay. But it's small. It will be small. I mean, it's not like we have. to-
Well, I mean, yeah, they'll make the change. I'll throw that out
Know
there.
the exact, so, but anyway, I'll second.
Councilman Brown makes a motion to hold a public hearing and at the next meeting, the first meeting in September, which is the 10th, I believe.
I think so.
And Councilman Campton seconds it. All in favor? Opposed?
When's our budget stuff have to be done?
Well, this, Beth?
Well, we planned on doing the first reading of council in September, but we can push that back 2 weeks if we need
Because
to, in order to.
if we don't do this, we gotta do changes. We gotta have more people on dispatch at night.
So that's why I think.
Oh, there's gonna be more, there's gonna be more dispatch,
So
but
he's
then,
saying if we don't do this,
we have
No.
we need,
people. We'll
the
have to
city
do something
police needs
for our
to
budget or for our.
fix that
So,
problem.
yeah, and I think that's the way, I think it needs to be like, then we can say yea or nay that night. You know, we just need to have the public hearing and then let's just vote on
Then
it.
you can go to
If
that
it's
and then you
no,
can
it's
do
no.
your
If it's yes, it's yes.
budget after that.
Right.
So-
Right.
I mean, we've got until November 1st to submit that budget.
But I'm saying if we vote that night,
Yeah.
then
We're
you
still
can
good.
bring this up after
Right.
that
You can
vote.
clean that up and then start the budget
Sean
process.
understands.
Just to be clear, what are we looking to hear? Or what information is going to be?
We need to, well, right now, this pretty much been internally. I mean, out in the public, there really hasn't been any person that's had the opportunity to look at any of this. So I wanna make sure that we're covering all our bases. That's what I wanna hear. And if we have 40 people come in here and say 100% they want it, that's what we want. But I want people in here that's gonna talk about it. I mean, we had a noise ordinance public hearing. That was probably one of the best things we ever did. I mean, that was, I mean, you gotta have, if it takes a public hearing for people to come in here and talk about it, that's what we gotta have.
Are you gonna have it here, or we have the bigger location where we get?
It'll be here.
Because I would imagine there'll be a lot of people.
It'll be here.
The noise ordinance was a lot of people too, but.
But
That's
the only
much.
thing, like I said, on the public hearing, it will be what's in this contract. We can't keep hearing if it's done right. Right will be in that last contract. That's what you gotta understand.
Except for the two changes I've heard tonight.
Right. If it happened, but my point is.
That's all I've heard.
You know,
This is the
So it
contract.
will not start in a neutral venue, because that is important, that's all I'm asking.
I don't think that's gonna
off the
happen.
table.
I don't think that's possible if we're gonna do it this year.
If we're gonna do it, like, off the table.
Not this quick.
No.
The majority of my calls end in that's the only reason I'm asking.
But when you tell them that, if you talk to, you know, because the ones I talked to, every one that I talked to, like I told you, except for two who were against it to start with, said, even if it's that way, I still want it. So.
I just agreed with the neutral, listened to the department heads, agreed with the neutral, Todd Church, et cetera. Told them that I supported the neutral, didn't know how it would be funded, didn't know if it was possible. So I guess, yes, I'm just, it's a lot easier to say it's off the table right now if it's off the table. So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't see that being an
Okay.
ability this year.
Okay.
So it pretty much makes it
Right,
not
off
ability
the table,
forever.
right, yeah. Makes it a lot simpler to tell those people. that-
Tomorrow I'll reach out with these two changes. I'll throw that back at them.
Is what it is.
I have a financial question.
Yes.
When they're talking about the E91 funds,
Yeah.
I think there's 250,000, 350,000 that the year before that. In the calculation of the operational expenses, do they take the operational expenses, subtract the E91 funds, then split the cost 65-35? I don't know that it's actually written that way in the contract. It talks about
Mhm.
startup fees.
Read from,
But it doesn't
read
really
from
say
funds,
going forward, that's
what I
correct,
highlighted.
calculated.
And after initial outlay, I think, I read it as it is written that way, but I want you to see what you think.
That may be the understood amount, but I wasn't.
That was a good catch, though.
No, I mean, I think it's read that way. I do, I think it's read
That's what I
that
said, I
way.
haven't had a chance to.
Because it talks about the initial outlay, and
Right.
it talks about 6B. And
Yeah, after that, then it's 65-35, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
mean,
what
I
see
read
it
it
too.
as it's written correctly, and not saying that, but me and Beth talked about this
And
today.
then for our budget, how is it gonna work on the utility side? Will,
When we get the invoice from
you.
the county for our portion, the utilities will pay 20%, because that's basically
it'll
what they
still
pay
work?
now.
Okay.
Basically what
We
they
pay
pay.
for, one dispatcher.
So.
okay, I just,
Yeah. And that would be my suggestion, would be 20%, because
In addition, you know, so it starts in addition.
in order to answer
Yeah, but that's
the
just the
utility
initial
cost,
fund.
and that's what
Well,
they're paying.
in addition,
Just the initial.
and then go down here, in the next paragraph.
You might read it different, but it says, the setup fees, the ability is
That's for 2022.
But then on, will that be the way it's gonna be done?
From then on, it's 65, 35, you mean,
After, do they take
After the initial
911
outlay,
off
right.
and then divide up to 65, 35?
I mean, it's supposed to be, because what, the original, so if this doesn't sound right to you as the finance person, then we need to make it sound right to you. Basically, when we hired that group to come in 3 years ago,
Baker Tilly.
the estimated cost to run it was 1.1 million.
Right.
So if they're saying it's 900,000, then they're taking 250,000 off. Right, it's estimated 900,000, right?
Yeah, there's the estimated cost, and this year's budget is,
1,078,000.
yes.
I mean, on that form, it does show that the D911 money is coming off, and then the rest of the expenses are being divided. But I'm saying in the contract, I'm not reading it that way.
Well, as the financial person for our city, you need to feel comfortable with the way that reads, so I don't know what we need to do to make that right.
Okay,
I mean, I feel like it is kind of saying that, but it is kind of vague a little bit, talking about the initial and 6B.
are you comfortable rewriting a version that you'd be comfortable with?
Or just adding something to it?
Or, yeah,
just rewording that one part in there.
do you care to just do that? Because, I mean, I'm kinda like the mayor, right? It looks to me like it fits, but I agree with what Alan's saying too, that you're the one that needs to be comfortable with it.
You wrote it to make it sound good and presented it to Tim.
I'll put some
Okay.
verbiage in there and send it to you.
That sounds good,
And
yeah.
he can put it in his legalese and make it sound really good.
Yeah, I'll
So, I mean, it's imperative that you feel comfortable with the way that reads, so that we're not.
I agree with that.
Okay. Anything else over on this subject?
Can I just mention that we just lost a dispatcher, so we are running with 6 right now, so we don't know what to do until this happens or doesn't happen.
Can you hire any retired police officers part-time or anything?
I mean, they wouldn't know how to use buildings.
Especially ones that, were at the top when they retired,
Right.
so yeah.
If you cut off 2 fingers, I'm done. I can't type, I can't do anything with that, but, so, we're way too slow at typing compared to these dispatchers nowadays.
We got to come up with a conclusion on this.
Oh, yeah, either way.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Anything from the public, wants to come in front of the board, city council before, we close tonight? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned. Board of Public Works and Safety in 5 minutes. go. Let's call the meeting to order. Board of Public Works and Safety, August 23rd, 2021. In front of you, you got the approval of the minutes of the August 9th, 2021 regular meeting and the August 18th, 2021 executive session meeting in front of you.
I move we approve both those as written.
Okay, Councilman Dahl makes a motion to approve both as written. I need a second, so all in favor say aye. Opposed? Discussion and approval of the claims that was submitted from the council to the Board of Works tonight. Any questions on the claims?
I'll move we approve the claims.
Okay, Need makes a motion to approve the claims. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, discussion approval of request from Shannon Christie to close Southeast 4th Street from Main Street to South Street for a cornhole tournament event as a benefit fundraiser for her nephew from 1 to 7 on Sunday, August 29th. Shannon, you got anything you'd like to say on this request?
It turned out to be a lot bigger than what I thought, and the Tops parking lot won't hold that many cornhole boards. No, it's gonna be for a good cause. We're having a cookout. We're doing just donations per plate, and then we're gonna tournament, just try to get them some money to help pay for his bills. That's all it's for, so.
From Maine, and it's Sunday.
And I don't think anyone's open besides the laundromat, and he has access on South Street, like South Street would be affected at all.
Right.
So.
Brian, we've talked. Brian, got anything to say on this? I mean, we've talked about it.
No, we would just mention that, we put the barricades out Friday, it would be their responsibility to put everything down.
We almost have to go to Main Street. If we go to the alley, then if people turn off of Main, there you are. And it's a Sunday. If it was any other day, I would probably definitely be opposed because just what's going on. But being a Sunday like that from 1 to 7, I think we'll be fine. You guys,
I move we approve it.
I'll second that.
Councilman Dahl makes a motion to approve this request, and I need a second. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Discussion approval of request from Victory Community Church, 1419 West Walnut Street, to close a half a block on Northwest 15th Street from West Walnut Street south to the alley on Sunday, September 5th, from 9 to 1 for an outside service. I think we have the Sidebottom brothers, their family, twins. They're present. This is a request that they've done for all these years. We've done it for many years already.
The church is coming along nicely.
We've still got a couple holidays before there.
When do you think you might be in that?
They have said the end of October.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I was just curious. I haven't been down that way lately. Okay.
I move we approve it.
Okay. Councilman Dahl makes a motion to approve it. Need a second. So all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now we got open bids received for one new model digger derrick truck for the electric department. Advertised 7/29 and 8/5/2021.
All right, this bid is from Altech Industries in Birmingham, Alabama. There is a properly executed non-collusion affidavit. And a bid bond. Okay, it looks like the total bid is for $232,017, $232,017.
Did you say there was a check in there or no?
I'm sorry?
Was there a check included?
Is there a what included?
No, check.
Check on here.
Yeah, they got that.
There's a
on.
bid bond.
Yeah.
That's either or.
Oh, either.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
All right, this is from Terex Utilities in Watertown, South Dakota. There is a properly executed non-collusion affidavit. Looks like the grand total bid is for $267,645.
You said there was a bid bond in there?
I'm a-looking.
Okay.
Another folder, let me check it. It's another non-collusion affidavit. Yes, there is a bid bond.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Okay,
it.
2 bids. Would you,
You wanna take under advisement that
the advisement, let the department head look at them and report back to us?
I'd do that?
Okay. All right. So we'll give those back and you look at those 2 bids and
Okay.
let us know what you think. Okay. All right. Discussion and approval of the Energy Assistance Program Memorandum of Agreement with the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. Stacy, you got anything you want to say on this? I think this is, well, my first one to come through here. It's a 2-year agreement.
Do this every 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just basically, stating we want to accept funds. And that we do.
Yeah. It's,
Basically that we're gonna follow the moratorium and
Pretty much the same as what we've always done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
okay.
agree.
Councilman All makes a motion to approve this agreement. Need a second, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Now we got a discussion approval of planned maintenance renewal agreement with Cummings Inc., sales and service for the wastewater department. Scott, I pretty well read this and know what it is. It's for,
Yeah, we have 6 generators.
Yeah.
So they stay operational because we're required by law to have them operational. We've always, the past 8 years, I think right at 8 years, had maintenance agreements with, it's always been Cummins. I used to entertain competition, but, that's went away, so. They're the only ones that would wanna do it nowadays.
yeah. It's agreement for $16,144.23. It's a 3-year agreement.
That means you come twice every 6 months.
Yeah.
Check them out.
I'll move it to that.
I'll second that.
Okay, I need to make some motion to approve this agreement. Councilman Dahl seconds. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Discussion approval of the 2021 benefit management agreement with Medical Benefits Administrators, Inc., MedBen.
Yes, Beth, are you pleased with them?
Yes.
Okay.
It's, actually, it runs from July 1st to 2021 through June 30th of 2023. So
Yeah.
we're a little beyond that
2-year.
They,
I'll move to approve that.
I'll second it.
Okay, Nita makes a motion to approve this agreement, and Councilman Dodd makes seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we got a few salary position changes.
Would you like for me to read
Yeah,
those?
please,
All right.
please.
Okay, Stacy Anderson, I request the following salary changes. Derek Rhodes, from field service technician, $20.24 to customer service technician at the same hourly rate, effective August 7th, 2021. Also, oh, that's the same one.
this is the one we had last time.
We did that last time,
Yes,
but we need to do it again because the mayor needs to abstain.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't figure, okay, makes sense.
I move we approve it.
Councilman Dodd makes a motion to approve it. Anita seconds it.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
We're legal now.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we also have from Derek Devine, the chief, Matt Stanley from sergeant third shift at $23.68 per hour, to captain third shift at $25.44 per hour, effective August 21st to 21. And then also from the chief, Brandon Humphreys from captain third shift at $25.44 per hour to sergeant third shift at $23.68 per hour, also effective on August 21st, 2021.
I'll move to approve those.
I'll second.
Okay, Nita makes a motion to approve these 2 salary changes, and Councilman Dodd seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I think, on that, I think this is the papers. You guys need to sign on those, I believe, that they had there for me. And did you have one other one?
That's all I had.
I got one more in my pad. You got one more, Beth?
Yeah, I do have.
This one here.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is effective dates September 4th, 2021, from Beth Trousdale. I request the following salary change: Jordan Robinson, from Animal Control Officer Custodian at $19.25 per hour, to Distribution Maintenance with the Water Department at $20.35 per hour, also signed by James Lloyd.
Yeah, he's had a position in the water department. He was animal control. He put, we always ask the city employees or see if we have any possible transfers, and he wanted to transfer to the water department. So,
I move we approve that.
Councilman, I'll make a motion to
I'll
approve it,
second.
and Nita seconds it. Okay,
That's on this one.
all right, anything else for the Board of Works? Anybody from the audience got anything for the Board of Works?
You abstained on that.
Yes, I abstained, yes. Yes. Anybody out in the crowd got anything for the Board of Works?
I have one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Beth.
We, in the last couple of days, I've received a quote from Voice, which is our software people. We've been asking them, if there's a way that they can, change our programming so that we can get, email pay stubs instead of paper.
Oh.
And they've been working on that. And they came back with a quote of $500 setup fee and then an annual fee of $150. I think that's probably.
$650 a
Yeah.
year.
That's not bad.
And I think that would, I don't know how long it's gonna take them to implement it, but we at least got a quote and we've been asking for one for the.
Will that fix the pay stub anomaly where we don't have all the guys
Oh.
like to see their breakdown on their times and all that?
Yeah, they would.
That'll fix
be able
that
to
problem,
Sign
too.
on some, and get their information.
Yeah,
rather
because
than-
you'd be surprised. We got several employees that hate that they just get PTO thing. They want to see the breakdown.
Well, I'm not sure when that part's gonna change. This is
Well,
the
I
part
know,
that
I know, I
they-
just keep telling them you're working on it.
I know, right now, they are trying
Yeah,
to
it is.
standardize fund numbers for the state board.
Yeah.
And that's kind of taken a lot of their,
Do we need to act on that quote?
yeah, I just have a yes or no.
Okay,
That'd be
make a
great.
motion to approve that quote.
I move.
Okay.
I'll second.
Councilman Dodd makes a motion to approve that quote, and Nita seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I know we've been trying to get that worked out too for a while.
I haven't forgotten it.
No,
They're-
no, I mean, just find someone to be able to do it and get it. Okay, Did nobody in the audience got anything for the Board of Works? Okay. Okay.
I didn't know our company credit cards. If that's
wait.
something that we can
I didn't have it on the
increase at
agenda.
all. The reason being,
I didn't have it on here.
safety and training is a big part of what we do, and that's where 90% or more of my credit card goes towards. And not every month, but some months it gets pretty close to reaching the limit, so the guys will have to either pay for it themselves and get reimbursed, or, use their own credit cards, and it's.
All
I feel like
credit,
it's a
all
burden
credit
on-
cards got $2,500 limit on it right now.
We used to
All of
share
Yeah.
between states. I mean,
And-
it's a pain, but.
And
We talked about that, but back in November of 19, we ran into a problem. You were sending guys to line school. We had sent 2 groups of people up to IMPA for 3-day stays, and we sent people out for census training. Mine was maxed, his was maxed, so we ended up purchasing
Right.
a lot of our stuff.
So what
So
you say?
we would have to, we have an ordinance that states the limit on the credit cards, and we would probably have to review each department heads and see what limit we'd wanna set on them. We wouldn't wanna probably go across the board.
No, I don't think so.
Based on need.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then, have Tim rewrite the ordinance, is what we would need to do with
Okay.
that.
You can amend it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably become pretty dated.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody has that problem,
And mine's not every month, I mean, it's just.
Yeah,
times of the
at
year,
times.
so.
Jimmy, do you have any problem with yours? Because back in the day when Charlie was in, he said he had certain things go on his, and he got close, I think, a few times. So I didn't know. Huh? You have too?
Well, like when we do our training, our big training, out of town.
Yeah.
That's always when everything breaks.
Well,
It just seems like that's when.
Clerk's Department will reach out to you guys and talk to who, and then we'll see what we think. I know I never did have that problem, but, I don't think, Steve, you don't
I
have it.
really haven't had an issue with it.
I haven't had one back then, and I don't have anything with mine now for sure, but,
It's really when you send people to training.
yeah,
The hotel.
yeah, and then some of them Charlie used to pay some things, stuff he shipped out and stuff.
Right.
I don't,
That truly is what the credit card is for the training.
Yeah.
and things like that.
yes, exactly. Okay, we'll look into that and see if we can get that taken care of.
I know, used to, like IMEA and IMPA both, they would bill you, but I don't think IMEA bills you anymore.
They do invoice.
They do invoice.
And I've even tried to get some hotels to invoice their, like when
Some of
those
them
coming
don't.
up, to invoices ahead of time, and they will not do it. And we have the schools and IMEA and IMPA coming up and stuff like that.
And our guys, I mean, most of them, they, like I said, they use their cash, or I just feel like it's a burden on them, and then they have to reimburse
Yeah.
anybody.
Right.
Sometimes that's a burden on them.
Brian?
Yeah, we buy chemicals from Rural King. If we could maybe somehow set up a full account with them, where we get back the statement, then that would alleviate some of that off mine.
Just have them give us a.
There were some other,
credit application,
maybe,
we could get that going for you.
yeah. Yeah, we've got some in other places when I was in, but no, I guess nobody's ever used them before. Have you checked with them, make sure we didn't have a account open? I don't think Real King we do.
We're set up with them as a tax exempt purchaser.
Okay.
But we don't have
Account.
a monthly statement account set up with them.
We have to kind of be careful with some of that too.
There's like Lowe's, Home Depot.
We had a little
and
trouble with Lowe's
Street
at one time,
are
but
three
yeah.
places that I've been, and we're set up as the tax exempt purchaser, but not as.
Yeah, we tried to set up an account with Lowe's when I was back in the fire chief, and that was, I think we might have got it done, but it was pretty picky.
You had one a few months ago that wanted social security numbers and.
Well, yeah.
For us, and I think we were working with you guys down at the clerk's office.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, some of them are harder to work with than others. They want, like, me to be personally responsible if, and they want all my information, and I don't really wanna do that.
I don't blame you.
No, that's tough. Yeah.
But, if we can work something else out with them, that would be great. We'll get that done.
Okay, anything else? Nobody? Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Stacy.